Nicole Zuraitis is a Grammy-winning and four-time Grammy-nominated jazz singer, songwriter, pianist, and arranger, New York-based band leader, and winner of the prestigious 2021 American Traditions Vocal Competition Gold Medal. As a recording artist, Nicole has released five albums as leader, and her sixth album, How Love Begins, co-produced by eight-time Grammy-winning Christian McBride, won Best Jazz Vocal Album at the 2024 Grammy Awards and features all original music. She is the only person ever to have won this award who wrote and arranged the entire album herself. Hello, Nicole. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, great. Now that I've been looking forward to chatting with you. This is I was so excited when I heard that you won the Grammy this year. That's amazing.
It really was amazing because I'm an independent artist and I've been kind of sludging through the trenches for decades. And so it felt like I was finally, being seen by my colleagues and hopefully now the world.
Do you feel any more validated in terms of life accomplishments, or is there something more important to you that would be more gratifying, do you think?
I would like to have like 50 dogs. As once as our new foster dog sits next to me.
Oh,
Um yeah, I think, that was definitely like the pinnacle, but I'd love to perform at Carnegie Hall. And then if it wasn't music, I'd love um I'd love for other people to sing my songs, but not music. I would love to do something good for the world or the environment or for animals. So
mm.
yeah.
I should have let's go back. Is it Nicole Zuraitis or Zuraitis?
Um I like Zuraitis. Like
Zuraitis. Okay.
like you're right, baby.
You say Zuraitis, I say Zuraitis. But let's not
Let's
call
call
the
the
whole.
whole thing off.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, because I want to. I want to keep this interview.
Promise, promise.
Yeah. Um, Tell me about your connection to the Packing House. So you're going to be performing at the Packing House on Friday, December 6th, coming up very, very soon. And this is not your first time there, correct?
No, I love performing at the Packing House. I really believe in EC Chap and the Packing House, and Tom and Mary Buccino, who run it, are some of the most unique people in the world because they really believe in, cultivating and nourishing a place for the arts. They have, the Packing House is not only a music venue, it also has a gallery, it has a museum, all through EC Chap. And uh, Mary and Tom had seen me perform with Livingston Taylor many years ago and had sent me an email saying, we saw you perform with Livingston. We have a venue. It would be really cool if you would come perform here. And then I fell in love with the space and them. And I try and come once a year. And I want people to get super hip to Willington.
I love Wellington.
Yeah, I think Willington is going to be the
The new Northampton.
yeah, the new Northampton. Yeah, that's what we'll say. Or like exactly.
Um, you also spend a lot of time at the jazz camp out in Litchfield, and you helped open doors for so many young artists. Did this experience open up any doors for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. No crying, sweetheart. Litchfield Jazz Camp definitely opened doors for me because I didn't go to school for jazz. And the music business is essentially who you know. So, you don't have to go spend your life savings on a degree in music. It's all about networking. So I went to the camps and that's how I got to know the art form, but also know people within the art form of jazz. And I think that having that network of, bona fide jazz artists was uh, incredibly influential for me.
I think I saw somewhere that you were a little apprehensive at first, maybe about the improvisation of jazz at first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't catch me dead improvising on the trombone or on the piano, and definitely not vocally. And there's a lot of stigma with scat singing for
Hmm.
vocalists. a lot of judgment. People pass, and the older I get, the more I'm like, oh, I don't care. you know, this is fun. I'm going to take a crack at it. And the older I get, the more I understand the language of jazz, and it all kind of lines up and makes more sense. But improvising is an incredibly difficult thing to do. You're essentially making up melodies on the spot. Um, and it can go well or it can go terribly wrong. And it's very much alive.
Were before that experience, were you more interested in another type of singing, or were you trained as an opera singer?
Yeah, I have a class. I trained as a classical singer. I studied with Laura Mashburn in Litchfield, who was an amazing vocal teacher, and she, installed in me a very strong technical foundation of my instrument, which gave me the ability to sing all types of genre without injuring myself. And I always just loved all types of music. I sang rock and roll, I sang Whitney Houston, I sang pop, jazz, I was singing in big bands, but also in the musical theater. Um, but my voice didn't develop into something anyone really wanted to listen to until I was like 21, and then it didn't really develop again until like I was 28. So I was a late bloomer in that sense.
Hmm. Well, it all worked out for you, I think.
I guess. Fooled them again.
You in your acceptance speech for the Grammy, you started by acknowledging black music, which was very seemed very it should be done more. You
Amen to
know,
that.
it's the root of our music, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. Um,
Exactly. A lot of people don't realize that Black American music kind of shaped what we call American music. It shaped rock and roll, it shaped um,
country.
country, R&B,
Mm.
and it all comes from spirituals, which then uh, turned into the blues, was turned into jazz. And so I thought it would be a tremendous disservice to those who came before me, who like suffered immensely, if I didn't at least say, "Wow, this music has completely changed my life for the better."
Mm. Yeah, you curated a compilation, I believe, an album featuring songs written or co-written by women. Was that a long time ago? I had trouble finding it.
Yeah, so that's actually coming out. So
Oh, it's coming out.
I have two things. That everything is kind of all of it is tied with a thread. So, How Love Begins, the album that won a Grammy, as you mentioned, I wrote all of that and arranged it. But then I've always done a project. I used to call it Generations of Her. Now I call it Siren Songs. And that's all living songwriters or my favorite songwriters from the last 100 years that are women.
Mm.
And then Siren Songs, the little EP drops in January. And it's just a fun project. It has Billie Eilish, Joni Mitchell, uh, Bobby
Really
Gentry, Melanie, Brenda Russell. There's a lot of all my favorite songwriters on the little EP that's coming out in January.
cool.
And then um, within the next year or the year after, I'm also putting together a book of living jazz songwriters and gonna make an album that coincides with that, uh, so that we can really like solidify a new American songbook for vocalists as opposed to just instrumentalists and or um, a lot of jazz singers don't sing each other's songs. I think that's a real shame.
Mm,
So if I make it easier for them to find them, we'll just make a new songbook while still honoring the greats.
that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Thanks.
Do you think you'd ever have an Ani DeFranco song on there?
Yeah, I mean, if she writes a song with that fits the criteria, it's funny. Like there'll be two volumes. The first volume will be uh songs that kind of follow the same form as like Cole Porter or Irving Berlin or Gershwin or more even some more contemporary. But then volume two would be the one where people who identify themselves as jazz musicians, and I think Ani DeFranco definitely has some songs that could fit into like a more modern jazz landscape.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um, how do you keep your creativity alive?
Um, get hurt a lot. Just kidding. Um, just responding directly to things that are happening in life. There's so like I'm constantly in awe of the world, so it's really easy to stay creative. It doesn't mean that what I'm making is good, but I at least have an opinion on it that I can create something from it. Um, and I don't beat myself up if I have writer's block because that just kind of feeds the monster that you don't want to feed. So I'm
Right.
just like, well, this isn't really. I'll sit at the piano. I'll be like, I really feel like writing this song, and I'll start it. I'll be like, this is absolutely terrible, and I'll just stop, and I'll come back to it later.
Um, I know you're married to forget his first name.
Dan.
No, Dan Pugach, who's a drummer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but if you weren't married, I don't know why I was thinking this the other day, but if you had to write a short bio for a dating app, would you start it with Grammy winning, four-time Grammy nominated jazz singer songwriter?
Absolutely. Or or something silly like, well, like one of my taglines on is like write songs, save dogs, bake cakes, right? So something like that. Yeah, yeah.
That's a good way to sum you up.
Yeah. Eat cakes too, you know.
Would you like to play a quick game?
Sure. I love games.
This is called Lyrical Ponderings. I'm going to give you a song title. The song title is in the form of a question, kind of like Hadaway's "What is Love?" What is love? Do, do. So you can either tell me who sang the song,
Oh God, I'm terrible at this. Okay.
or you can answer the question.
Okay. I'm terrible discographer, so probably be number two. Okay, go ahead.
Pick a number between 1 and 202.
198.
198. Here we go. Where was I?
That's the name of a song.
Yeah.
Where was I? The question is, why was I there? As the dog barks, she's like, "Are you saying who is it? Who is it?" You hear her? She's really going.
Yeah.
Who is it? Where was it?
All right, so you have to answer the question then.
But the question is, what?
You
Say,
were
say.
at the Grammys.
Oh, yeah. And we're going back again because we got two more nominations, so we're heading back.
They already released the oh wow.
Yeah, for Dan Pugach, my husband, his big band album Bianca Reimagined is nominated.
Oh cool.
And then we are nominated for Best Jazz Performance together for Little Fears.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
I hope to see you up on the stage there again then.
You and me both. We'll see. We will see.
Oh, by the way, that was David Hasselhoff who did the song "Where Was I?"
You're kidding.
No.
Now, where was I? That's fascinating. Okay.
Nicole, thank you so much for chatting with me. And again, you'll be at the Packing House on Friday, December 6th. Any special type of show, a holiday show, or just
Yeah, we're gonna do a holiday show. We might have a couple of my NYU students do like a 20-minute opener. I'm gonna be doing duet with my friend Sean Harkness on the guitar, and I'll be playing the piano and singing. And very special show, not my normal quartet, not my normal, songwriter thing. A lot of songs that I just love and are familiar and nostalgic, and will put people in the holiday spirit.
awesome? Looking forward to it. December 6th at the Packing House.
Yeah.
Nicole Zuraitis, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Have
See
a
you
good day.